Well, it does seem that so many of you are very interested in exactly how long the list of failures is going to be for this MOT test, and I have to say I'm with you on that, and I don't think any of us are going to be disappointed. And I've got a very specific question here from Tortop45. Any boot floor and outriggers left, Ed? Well, actually, as you've probably seen or been working underneath the car, there's not a lot connecting the bodywork to the chassis, and we'll have to address that later on, but I just want to see just how much stuff we're going to be failing this test on. Now, I've got another little tip here, really, from JDM Jesus. And he's got top tip for getting stubborn brake nipples undone. Use a hammer. It says bash the end straight on until it starts to mash over. Don't hit it from one side. This will loosen the thread and any rust. This will then still work, but you're changing it anyway, it doesn't matter one bit. I've never snapped a bleed nipple since I've started using this method. Well, that's a very good top tip, but interestingly also, there's a little tip here from Eddie84, and he's saying you have a crusty bleed nipple, put a shank of a drill bit down the center before you undo it, and of course that adds a bit of strength and supports the inside of the threads, so it stops them from collapsing and stops the whole thing from twisting off, which is quite clever as well. So a lot of really useful tips, so thank you very much for that. Now, while I'm stuck at the side of the road, I'm reminded of some of your brilliant comments or alternatives to my dog eggs and road apples. We've got bark eggs, land mines, which I actually thought was pertaining to cow pats. Also, my favourite so far, meadow muffins. Brilliant. Keep them coming. You know, I can't believe that it's taken quite so long as it has to get that Range Rover barely drivable and then get it all the way to the MOT station, but it is there as promised. And now it's out of our workshop and out of our hands. We're at the mercy of the ministry, and we'll deal with the fallout from that debacle on another day. But now we've got a nice bit of space, it's a good opportunity to remind you to click subscribe and also click the bell to get those notifications, but also I can answer some questions. And we've got one here, a brilliant question from Lucas Schnook. Is the sister company of Ansel called Gretel, and does it sell socks? Well, that is a brilliant idea, and if it isn't already a thing, it really should be, so I'll talk to the powers that be. It should become perhaps part of my range of Ed gear, who knows? Right, got another question here from Luke KC. What has been your favourite car you've ever worked on, and what car would you like to work on but haven't? Well, going back to wheeler dealers, there are so many cars that were great fun, but I think the Lamborghini Huracan was just a fantastic car. It was amazing to get a bull into the China shop. And actually, it wasn't so much working on the car that was amazing. Obviously, it was all about the test drive in the Dolomites, the sound of that engine. Oh. That was fantastic! That flat plane V8 sounds so good, but there are other cars from wheeler dealers as well that I really enjoyed playing around with. The Cadillacs, for example, that was a real great challenge, trying to make a rally car, first of all, out of nothing, out of just rust and bits of wood, but then also trying to turn it into a rally car as if I was an Edwardian gent of that era, using components from that period. Really, really good fun, and obviously we'll see more of that as the show progresses, but of course we've got quite a few projects just to finish off first. Now, another thing we actually played around with, of course, as well, which was great fun, was actually electrifying a Gibbs high-speed amphibian, the Aquada. Now that was awesome fun, and it really was an amazing thing to then go and set a record with it once we'd done all that electrification work. Now, when it comes to my own projects, obviously the casual loafer, the sofa car, is very dear to my heart, and it's quite good that I quite enjoy working on it because I have to do an awful lot of work, particularly when we drove it from LA to San Francisco and back again. It broke down almost every single day because of a long-standing overheating problem. Now, I have got loads of projects that I'm looking forward to getting stuck into just in this workshop alone. Obviously, we've got the Tornado drop tank to make that salt flat race, so that'll be great fun. The giant shopping trolley, I really need to get cracking with that because I really want to get that back on the road as well. But then we've got all these other projects like the Luaz, the amphibian from the Ukraine. Really looking forward to trying to get that back here and then trying to get it working and then go for a bit of a swim, which would be great. And talking of water, obviously we've got a boat project in the pipeline as well, so it'd be great to get on there. But if we're getting back to cars, those cars I never quite got round to working on, then I would love one day to work on a Duesenberg fantastic, amazing car from the 30s, a wonderful thing. But also, one day it'd be quite wonderful to work on a magical, mythical car such as Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That would be amazing. Anyway, enough of all that fantasy stuff. We should get back to doing something while the workshop is nice and empty, and I've got a couple of jobs in mind.
Thanks for stopping by the workshop. If you enjoyed the video, even just a little bit, then click like. If you hated it, well then click like 3 times. Also remember to leave your thoughts and your questions in the comments. And obviously we'd love to see you again soon, so please remember to click subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell for notifications of when the next video is published, or when I have some intriguing news.